What's going on, everybody? Brian back with another video, and today we are jumping in and already talking about update 27, and we already have an idea of around when this is going to be coming out, and we have an idea of what's going to be in it. So let's get into the patch, guys. So first things first, the Fearsome Footage Pack actually drops on October 1st. So here in a couple days, we will be getting that pack back. And with that pack, we will be getting the Cannibal Mechanic suit. As you guys remember, the Flaming Mechanic suit, it actually lights up at night. It's really, really, really cool. And the Skeleton Hoodie, this also will be coming out with the Fearsome Footage Pack. So if you guys haven't had a chance to get those two outfits, those will be coming with the Fearsome Footage Pack. And coming with the pack, they are adding a new weapon, which is really, really cool. They said the footage pack got 9% more fearsome. Speaking of the Fearsome Footage Pack, they managed to sneak in one more movie-inspired weapon into the collection called the Chopper. This is a razor-sharp machete. It's surprisingly easy to use, making it the right weapon when there's something out there waiting for you. So they'll be adding a new bladed weapon to the game called the Chopper. We don't have access to that right now because we can't see any of these new items until, you know, the actual update goes live. It's all locked, but that will be coming with the Fearsome Footage Pack. Now, with the Halloween update, we will be getting our hands on 3 new hats or masks, I guess you can say. So the first mask we'll be seeing is the jack-o'-lantern mask. Like I said, I can't see this right now, but it's the jack-o'-lantern mask. I would have to say it probably has something to do with like a pumpkin or something. This says a fiery grin, so maybe there's gonna be some, you know, flame mechanics or, like, you know, lighting or something coming out of it. It says definitely not carved by human hands. So this says this will be available as a gift for logging into the game between the 25th of October and November 1st. So coming around when I said, you know, we'll be seeing this update come out, you know, we have an idea of when it comes out. It's obviously going to be coming out at some point during, you know, October, whether that be, I don't think it's going to be around the Fearsome Footage Pack, but I feel like we're probably going to see it more around this October 25th date. I feel that's when we'll probably be able to see update 27. So we know that next month we will be seeing the update, which is really, really good news. The next one that will be added in is the hockey mask. So it says, who's up for some old time hockey? Gruesome Killer hockey mask. This is also just a login gift. You literally log in between the 25th and the 1st, and you will get this. I'm thinking this is probably going to be something like a Jason mask. And the Jason hockey mask is really, really cool looking. So I'm actually pretty excited to get my hands on one of those. I think that's going to look really, really cool on some of the survivors in the game. All right, and they will also be adding in a Scarecrow mask. What's that lurking in the cornfield? So this will go along good with the new cornfields of Trumbull Valley. We'll run out there with our Scarecrow masks on. But this one is called Grim Stitch, also a login reward. And to go with these, the Swine and Bovine mask, if you guys haven't played the game since last Halloween, you guys probably didn't have access to the pig mask here, along with the apron that it comes with. And that outfit will also be rewarded to you guys if you log in between that 25th and November 1st window. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about in update 27 is called the Red Talon Experiment. Now this is in response to players requesting that the Red Talon characters that you recruit, that their hero bonuses be a little more predictable. Right now, you know, you could get somebody with a certain 5th skill and you're going to think you're going to get a certain hero bonus to go along with it, but then they'll get a trait that will throw that off and you can't really predict that. So they're trying to make it a little more predictable. They're cutting some of the traits out to make it so there's a smaller pool to choose from, which will make them rely more on the 5th traits to determine what your hero bonus would be. than associating it with the 5th trait and a skill, and then you having to just kind of rely on RNG at that point. So the traits that they are cutting are Dead Zone Runner, which grants the Reconnaissance hero bonus, Console Officer, which grants the Ode Favors hero bonus, Die Hard Veteran. Now this one I'm a little upset they're getting rid of because this is actually a really good trait, and the hero bonus Utility Vest is really, really good also. So I'm a little sad to see that one go, but yeah, that is another one they're pulling off. And they are pulling off the Vigil Guard, which grants the Sleeping in Shift hero bonus. So those will be pulled out, and they're going to be trying to see how that affects the consistency and seeing if that helps out, making the traits, the hero bonuses more predictable. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Some quality life improvements. So, starting with vehicles, this is a big one. I couldn't believe I actually seen this on there because this has been in the game for a while, but they have identified a major cause of when you repair your vehicle and it goes flying in the sky. Yes, well, Undead Labs thinks they have pinpointed what might have been causing that. So we got to get in there and check it, and make sure. Obviously, it's possible that there's something else that could cause it, but with this patch, they are hoping that this fix will fix that issue. So no more repairing your vehicle and it going to outer space. As funny as it is to see, they think they have fixed it. So that is a great change. Now, this is another really, really cool one. So we have all been asking for them to expand vehicle storage a lot. And the Undead has stuck to their guns. They don't want to increase the size of the trunks. But what they have done in this is they have doubled the vehicle inventory slots, like how much each slot can hold. So now that means each slot can now hold 2 toolkits instead of 1, 6 fuel bombs instead of 3, 80 bullets. So everything in the trunk will hold double except weapons and rucksacks. Weapons will still take up a single slot, and a rucksack will still take up a single slot. You can't stack like 2 fuel rucks, but it doubles all of the consumables, everything that had a finite number to it, bullets, consumables, meds, all that stuff. You can now store twice the amount in the trunk, which that is such a good change. So, no longer am I going to have, being able to hold more bullets in my inventory. And I know you guys have probably seen this where you have somebody with assault now, you can hold 60, bullets in your inventory because your character has assault, but the trunk of your car can still only hold 40. So what happened is I would go to dump my extra ammo for clearing play carts in my trunk, and it would split. It would put a stack of 40 and then another stack of 20. So my 60 rounds are now taking up 2 slots in my trunk instead of only the 1 slot in my inventory. And what this change has done is now the trunk is going to be able to hold more, which great change. I'm really, really excited about that. Another change is the screamers will no longer break phantom versions of your car windows again and again. So they added in a thing with update 26 where when the screamer screams, it smashes out the windows of your car or windows of a house. It's really, really cool, just little visual thing they had there. But what would happen is the screamer would scream, blow out your windows, and then you would drive by another screamer and it would scream and blow out your windows again. Even though your car doesn't have windows, it would still somehow just blow them out again. But that is no longer a thing. They fixed that. Your windows are just going to break the first time, and now they are just broken. So I'm pretty sure that some of you guys seen in update 26 that when you have a character get in your car with you and their door was missing, the characters would just sit there and slither from the front seat to the back seat to the back seat to the front, and they would go back and forth, and it was pretty funny to look at. But they went ahead and they changed that, so we'll no longer be able to watch that as fun as it was, unfortunately. All right, they also added a change. Entering the rear right seat of the right rear seat of the vehicle now results in your character slithering all the way up to the driver's seat, instead of going to the passenger seat and then to the driver's seat. So now you'll be able, if you happen to get in the back seat of your car in a pinch, On the other side, instead of going to the passenger seat and then to the driver's seat, you'll now just go straight to the driver's seat. All right, so this change is a huge change for me, guys, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are going to be really happy with this. But these are some UI changes. Now, defeated Plague Heart husks now appear on the map until they are fully looted. And as you guys can see, I have Plague Hearts that I haven't looted. And look at this, 7 items remaining. It shows the icon on the map. So no longer will you be wondering where your old Plague Heart loot is. It is now here on the map. And it tells you how many items are remaining. You know what I mean? Like here, I still have a fuel rucksack, plague samples, and 7 items remaining in there. This one, I only have 2 items remaining, which means I got the rucksack out of it. 4 items remaining, and I got the rucksack out of it. 4 items remaining. You know what I mean? So you can just kind of come here. I still have the ammo rucksack in here. This is a tier 1 S-class change, like, you know, slow clap moment. This is great. Pretty sure most of you guys are going to be really happy with this change. As you can see, it's going to be great. So that is another change I am really looking forward to. All right, so another UI change, freaks that are integrated into a horde. So when you have those, you know, hordes that have a bunch of zombies, you know, Juggernaut, Feral, a Bloater, Screamer in it, they will now be identified separately on the minimap alongside the horde icon. So you're not only going to have just the horde icon, you're going to have the horde icon plus whatever the individual freaks are. So you'll be able to get an idea of what is in that horde from the minimap. So this is another small little UI change, but what they have done here is the community save slots now display the name of the map where the community currently lives. So as you can see here now, it says Trumbull Valley Lethal Zone, and that will probably help you guys out if you know you're like, oh, you know, I have 2 Lethal Zone communities roughly around the same days. Which one is which? And, you know, say you have one on Trumbull, one on Drucker. It's just another little piece of information. Like, okay, this is my Trumbull Valley community. This is my Meager Valley community. But, yeah, so you will now have the map you are on plus the zone you're playing on. So next is the gas station jackets now have accurate color swatches. As you guys know, the little color swatch icons. I don't have the gas station jackets unlocked, so I can't show you, but they now the little color swatch icons are accurate and actually show what the same color that the jacket is. I think this is a little daybreak change. I've never really seen this. I'm not sure. I also don't really pay attention, but the greedy daybreak technician is no longer hoarding multiple in-world icons to appear above their head. Now they're just going to have one. I don't recall there being multiple, but I guess this was a thing, so they went ahead and fixed it. All right, so some control changes. The repair action at the supply locker is now consistent for weapons in your inventory and in the locker. By default, it is A on controller and C on the keyboard. So what it was is if you wanted to repair an item in your supply locker, you had to hit one button, but if the item was in your inventory, you had to hit a whole nother button, and now they just across the board have made it the same. Now there's a change. Characters can no longer leap from ladders, as they found this was primarily done by accident and from very high places. So your characters can no longer jump off of ladders. All right, so players using the old school combined dodge stealth combo button, which is people like me, I hold C and tap C to dodge. We can now aim and dodge at the same time. We can do it. We can now do it again. This was undone, but they just returned it. So now you can aim and interrupt your aim by dodging. The sprint action no longer interrupts aiming unless you have the toggle aim option switched on. All right, so some big changes here when it comes to the zombies. So zombies can no longer see through wooden fences, cars, or doors. This should make stealth a lot more intuitive, especially in the denser environments, such as like downtown Marshall with all the wrecks and stuff like that. That was one thing that I've noticed as a player. You try to hide behind cars, or you walk past, sneak past a fence, and there's a zombie on the other side of the fence. Somehow they would see you and they would jump over the fence and come after you, but that is no longer an issue. You can now hide behind doors. You can now hide in behind cars and fences, and the zombies will not see you. So it's just a nice little change there to make stealth more viable. All right, so this is a great change here. Zombies will now spawn in buildings before you enter the building. This was a change that they started working on when Lethal Zone came out. It was kind of a mess, and then, you know, update 25 and update 26. But now they have finally got it, you know, nice and squared away. So what it means is when you go, before you enter a building, you'll be able to see inside the building and know whether you want to go in there or not. And you shouldn't go inside and then all of a sudden the zombies just jump at you out of nowhere. They just all spawn in. All of the buildings should now have zombies in them before you go in. But they do say that sheds are no longer guaranteed to be safe. So before, sheds were a guaranteed, zombies just wouldn't spawn in them. Anytime you would sneak into a shed, it would automatically clear. You didn't have to worry about it. But now zombies will spawn in sheds. So be careful. Definitely be careful. Okay, so for Outpost, the skill training actions, you used to have to actually go to the Outpost. Say you had a person without a 5th skill, you wanted to train them in medicine, you actually had to drive over to the Outpost and use the function at the Outpost in order to train the person in that skill. Well, they went ahead and changed that, and now you can do it either at base in the base screen, or you can do it in person at the Outpost. It doesn't matter. All right, so the overpriced hot dog stand and the Freaky Garage in Trumbull, they used to have discs on them like these, and it said that this was an Outpost. And I actually, on this beta community, came up here to claim this is an Outpost, and there was no locker. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So they went ahead and fixed that. The overpriced hot dog stand and the Freaky Garage, I don't know exactly where that one is. Those are no longer have the disc saying they can be Outposts when they're not. So you won't have to worry about that confusion anymore. So another small change is the Army Medical Camp tent near Jurassic Junction can now be claimed as an Outpost. It wasn't in the previous version, but now it is. They went ahead and patched an exploit that allowed players to use the windmill farm there in Meager Valley, labor-intensive strategy without actually having to use labor. I guess it didn't take labor to actually use it. They went ahead and patched that. All right, so they went ahead and they reworked the sturdy bunkhouse at the farmland compound. I'm living there right now, and I see this all the time. I've even had people on stream ask me, hey, why does that keep popping up like that, where you would have the activation pop up for the beds just pop up randomly over and over and over again. And it was pretty, I mean, it was annoying, but I know I just got used to it. But now that won't happen, and now you actually have full control over whether you want to use it as a 6-bed facility or whether you want to use it as the 8 beds with -5 morale. So they completely reworked the built-in, and now you have those 2 choices. You can choose between the 6 beds or 8 with a morale bonus or morale penalty. Crafting actions at the biochem station now correctly award the skill experience that they said they would. You know, like if you craft this, you're going to get chemistry experience and medical experience. I guess that wasn't happening, and now it does. I guess this was an issue. Base defenders can now successfully climb up into the sniper tower built at Camp Kaliqua. That's the campgrounds there in Meager Valley, and I guess if you built a sniper tower there, your NPCs couldn't climb up into the tower. This is another change I'm not 100% sure about, but they went ahead and improved the way the base facility icons are displayed, especially at unusual aspect ratios. I don't know exactly what they are referring to there. I've never really had any issues what they are looking at, but I'm pretty sure, obviously, if it's being fixed, it was an issue at some point. But that is no longer an issue. All right, so they went ahead and, as you guys can see, they added these little parking slots. They now have icons that show where your cars are. As you guys can see, I can see my cars are there through the wall, and they said that they even show up when you are side of your base, and they are. Look at that. So now there's a little icons that show where you can park. There must have been some confusion, especially with all the newer players coming to the game, not knowing, where a parking spot was, because all we had before was these blue signs. So that's a pretty cool change. All right, so they went up and they loosened the spawning requirements for the trade depot traders. So hopefully you'll find that the radio commands to summon them is much more reliable than they were before. There's a lot of things like too many enclaves on your map and things like that could affect, or if you already had another trader on your map or something like that would affect that trader actually showing up or not, and you would have to go and jump through all these hoops, kicking out enclaves, making sure you got all your traders off your map in order to get them to spawn. But now they went ahead and loosened up those requirements, so hopefully that is no longer an issue. So in the initial medical emergency mission, when you're sitting there searching the ruin for plague samples to manufacture your first cure, plague zombies will now reliably spawn. Sometimes you'd go in there and the zombies just wouldn't spawn, but especially if you had already scouted the area previously, the zombies just wouldn't spawn there. But now, even if you have scouted the area, this plague zombies are still going to spawn no matter what. So the enclave there, that's from the Warlord Weapons for All, they overprice guns like crazy amounts. You can now threaten that enclave even after the mission is over. So say you go there, you're not ready to fight them, and you kind of just walk away and let them stay with their prices. At any time, you can go back now and threaten them and take them out. All right, so Alexis Carter now leaves when you ask her to, whenever she ventures out of Trumbull to trade with others on the maps. So I guess there was an issue where you would ask her to leave and she wouldn't, but I guess now if you ask her to leave, she'll leave. Earlier, Builder, Sheriff, and the Warlord missions no longer will automatically pin themselves over the ongoing missions that you have selected. I guess if one of those missions would pop, it would just override whatever mission you were currently doing, and it would take your pin and move your icon and stuff like that. So that no longer happens. All right, so some other stuff. Stacks of items are now remerged in your inventory when you select a skill specialization that increases how many of them you can hold. So for instance, something like backpacking, that allows you to carry more, or I don't even know if it's backpacking, like things like, I believe like resourcefulness does it also. There's a couple skills there that actually allow you to hold multiple like 4 things of meds instead of 3. And now what it does is, say you have 2 stacks, you have a stack of 3 and a stack of 1 med. Now when you get that skill, what would happen is it's going to consolidate all of those items in your inventory automatically, instead of you having to put them in your locker and then take them back into your inventory to get them to consolidate. That no longer happens. So they killed all the remaining uses of the slow picking up things off the ground animation. Now everything is a kind of, you just run past it and you push the button and it just kind of sucks it up into your inventory instead of your character having to bend down and pick it up. They kind of went, because there was some, it used to be everything you had to like bend down and pick up. Plague samples included, and then they came out with Heartland and they allowed you to kind of zoom past the plague samples and just kind of suck them up. But then you would have to stop and pick up other items. So now you no longer have to do that. You literally just run past and you should be able to just pick up everything, just like you can pick up samples. The benefits of the ammo stacks from Assault now work in multiplayer. I guess it didn't work before, but now it works. Okay, so this is another change. They went ahead and removed the Red Talon guns and the Timberwolf from the rare gun containers. Now, some people might look at this as a downside. Some might, and most of us look at this as an up, because like they said here, those guns, the Red Talon weapons and the Timberwolf, there's other ways to get those. Especially Timberwolves, you can get those in normal loot. You can get those, from normal loot in military locations. You can buy it from multiple different traders, So that is a gun you can get. And then all of the Red Talon guns, you can buy those from Red Talon traders. You can get them from Daybreak traders. There was tons of ways to get the Red Talon weapons also. But what that's doing is taking those guns out now gives you better chances of getting some actual rare weapons without those guns clogging up those spots. And last but not least, they went ahead and they fixed numerous issues with some of the environment art, collisions, navigation, and character outfits, clipping, and stuff like that. So they went ahead and just, polishing up. So with this patch coming, update 27, I really think, after following such a huge update, like the homecoming update, this is a pretty good change. A lot of quality of life, just polish. This is a very good, just polish update. Obviously, there's still more bugs out there that they got to squash, but for the most part, a lot of good stuff in this update. Really looking forward to it. We'll be able to see this, probably toward the end of October. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys are new to the channel, please, subscribe. It always helps out. Hit that like button if you guys haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.